Right, morning everybody. Welcome to Friday. Spring, it's supposed to be spring, but it's freezing. Don't understand that, but anyway. Right, today we're talking about, let me share my screen. Okay, can you all see that? Let's just let some more people in. Okay, so today we're talking about the advice that we should have got when we started real estate. This is specifically aimed at our newer agents, but there's great wisdom in here because I have polled the greatest agents that we have. And here they are. So let's have a look. Look at that. Now remember that some of these weren't chosen on looks. It was on wisdom. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you which ones. But I'm not going to read all of these to you. I will send out this presentation so you can look at it yourself. But these agents are among our top producing agents, and they have got a handle on how they do this business. So it would benefit you greatly if you just sit and consider what they're saying. This is not, this is not advice, one panacea advice for everybody, but there are pearls of wisdom in here. There are bombs of wisdom amongst these people, and they are successful. And if you want to earn R1 million a year, you better pay attention to what people are saying. Okay. So what I have done, sorry, I'm just admitting to people. What I've done is I've taken the advice that they have, and I've kind of distilled it down into clumps, about 4 packages, because they all say very similar things. It's very interesting if you read it, what they're saying, if you look at what they're actually saying. And they all say something quite similar, which is quite interesting for me. I'm just admitting these people. Okay, so let's have a look what the A team says about real estate. One of the things that comes across quite strongly is about managing expectations. And this is an overt thing, but it's aimed at dealing with your client bases. But I think it's bigger than that. I think it's got to do with a lot more than just managing your clients. I think it's got to do with managing yourself and your expectations. And the newer agents are insecure in the capacity to act as an agent. And it comes across quite strongly. So you need to look at what you are expecting from this business. And if you are expecting to earn 50 or 100,000 Rand a month, for goodness sake, man, you cannot expect that if you are insecure as an agent, if you don't know what you're doing, if you are concerned, if you're worried. So you better get that stuff right. And Linda and I are sitting here waiting for your call. We have got nothing to do all day. Please help me to do something. So what you need to do is pick up the phone and say, Anton, I want to earn 100 Rand a month, but I'm too scared to make a phone call. That's a big problem, man. You got to admit that that's a big problem, and you got to be honest with yourself. So manage your own expectations, because my answer to you is, well, you're going to earn 0 if you can't pick up the phone. So, but there are ways around it, and we better find out what they are for you. So you need to be honest. Remember that you've got a partnership, and that we are in this together. And it's horrible for me to watch you guys just not perform. And I can't force you to listen to me. I mean, like, who can? So either you are a willing listener and you will take advice, or you won't. And if you don't think I'm giving the right advice, speak to somebody else. But talk to somebody and listen to their advice. Okay, so that's one thing I would say. The communication pointed part of it, we've been through this very specifically. On this slide, we've dealt with the slide specifically in another thing. But you need to tell everybody everything all the time, and you need to be honest about it. So if you say to you, yeah, I'm not selling, and I say, but have you made any phone calls? Yeah, I've made a couple. I made like 20 phone calls. When you actually distill it down, did you really make the calls? Did you actually make the contact? It's not the same as making the calls and nobody answers. It's a very strange phenomenon, this telephone. It weirds people out because they say they made 30 phone calls. And when I look at the phone logs that you should keep, and they do, people didn't answer, phone back next week, unavailable. So you didn't make 30 phone calls. You pushed the buttons 30 times, but you made only 3 contacts with actual people. And that's important. So one of the key things that our top performers tell you is that you need to manage expectations. And look at them. They've all got smiley, happy faces. Why? Because they got money in their bank accounts. They're top producers. They are successful at what they do. And if they're telling you to manage expectations, start managing expectations. Start with yourself. Manage what you think you should be doing. Decide what it is and do it. And ask for help. Okay. Right. The second one is this. The area of focus and learning to get stock. This is very sage advice. It's very tempting as a new agent or as an agent to look at the world and say, okay, I'm going to sell everything. If something is not bolted down, it's for sale. And it's a good strategy to start with, but to have a little bit more focus is clearly better. Top producing agents are quite focused in their areas. They know exactly what they're doing and where they're doing it. Okay, it's more difficult to get in, but in the longer term, the results are better. So that's the first thing I would comment to say. You know already that number one there, no enterprise business or anything can succeed without sales. We know this. So if I said to you guys, here's a free shop in Sandton City, shop 402 vacant, and I've negotiated a free shop for you. And Ronald, you are up. It's your turn. You own the shop. Start tomorrow and make some money. Now, that's quite a big deal to have a shop in Sandton City because a lot of people pay like 2,000 Rand a square meter for shops in Sandton City. So this is free. And what will you do? Well, I don't think you'd go there and not have any stock. You know, that would be kind of what? So you would get stuff to sell, whether it's shoes or handbags or whatever. You'd put something in your store. Now, what agents do, and it perplexes me because you start a shop. Now, your shop's bigger than Sandton City. Remember, it's the whole of South Africa, and in fact, the world. We are on the interwebs selling something. And when I look at your website, you specifically, you guys don't have any stock. Okay, well, what on earth are you doing? If you had an actual shop in Sandton, and I walked past it and you had a photograph of the toilet on the front window, all skew, and some grainy photograph taken with a bad camera. And like, no, I don't have the shoes here, but you can look at the photograph and that's kind of them sort of ish. You know, and a bad description of spelling mistakes. You're not going to be successful. So these guys, you need to sell something and your sales are your stock and your stock needs to be properly done. This is important. Sorry, there's a bit of a noise here. I just want to fix it. It's very. Please mute yourselves. Gary, won't you please mute yourself? Gary. Danny. Okay, just mute. Okay. So that big red square there where I say stop asking him permission. Top performing agents don't ask permission. They don't wonder whether the POPI Act prohibits them from calling. They don't sit and wonder, I wonder if this person will accept my phone call. You know, should I talk to him about the sale of his house? Do you think I'm allowed to approach houses that have got boards up for sale with other agents? What happens if they have a mandate? These questions that go through the heads of agents is very strange. Why would you ask permission like that? If you had a shop in Sandton, you wouldn't say, I'm wondering if I'm allowed to sell shoes. It's a shoe shop. Block. Excuse me, why are you asking me if you can sell shoes? You've got a shoe shop, sell the shoes. Now, if you're an agent that is perplexed about, am I allowed to do this? I've got the world's biggest secret for you. And here's the secret. It's easier to get forgiveness than permission. Okay? Now use this judiciously because it's not good with your wife or spouse. Okay, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is in a business context, it is much easier to say, Jacques, I'm so sorry, man. I misunderstood what you said and I put your house on the market for 100,000 and less and I apologize. And yes, if you don't want to do business with me, that's fine. That's an easier discussion than saying, Jacques, can I put your house on the market for 100,000 and less than asking price? And why? And go through all the trauma and drama of trying to convince somebody that's told you they don't want to do it. Just flip and do it and get into trouble or don't get into trouble. And I can tell you what happens. In the big bad world, nothing ever happens. Nobody's going to scream at you. Why? Because you sell houses. If you talk to Anton, I'm going to sell your house. That's what I do for a living. Why are you surprised I marketed it? Why are you surprised I've got price changes? This is what we do for a living. If you walk down the street to Pick and Pay, for sale, on special, reduced price, that's how you sell. Why are we surprised about this? So guys, please don't ask permission, and certainly don't ask me permission about should I do this. If you've got a shop, and you have got a shop and you sell property or rent property, do it. Stop asking, just get it done. Start doing it today. You need action. And what these top performers are telling you, those things are full of verbs. They're action words. They are not should have and could have and maybe and brown dog and lovely and all this. It's do, phone, call, action, sell. You know, they are doing words. This is what makes people money, is doing something, not sitting about it, not thinking about it. Do, then think. Okay, ready, fire, aim. Ready, fire, aim. You can correct your aim after you start shooting. Don't sit there and try and lock down something for weeks and weeks and weeks. By the time you get it together, our top producers will outsell you. Okay. So, talented superstars fail while the grafters succeed. We know this. These guys, as pretty as they are, the smiling faces, those gorgeous people on the front page with their successful smiles and their smirks, looking down at you. No, they're not. They are not superstars. They are not the world's best salespeople. And I'm, with all due respect to them, what they do is they work very, very hard. And if you want to make the call, their names are there. Phone them. Ask them how hard they work. And they will tell you they work flipping hard. It's incredibly difficult to do property effectively because it takes an enormous amount of effort and time. It's not luck in it, and it's not because you're the prettiest guy or the smartest, or it's this, don't watch American TV about sales. There it's all about the game and about the glib, and yeah, this is the sales technique. That's absolute nonsense. Absolutely, that's television. In real life, what sells property is effort and hard, long hours and graft. So, and all of that is action. Do it, okay? None of this has got to do with, oh, all I need to do is put a listing up and I'll get the call, and with one or two clever words that I just have to find out what these clever words are, I'll make a sale. That doesn't work like that. They're not clever words. Okay. That one there, guys, keeping your pipeline full should be your only goal. This is enormously important. If you want to see those friendly faces frown, if you want to scare those top producers, watch them after they've made a sale. Their hair stands up because they know how much effort they now have to put in to fill their pipeline up. They know it's going to take 100 phone calls to get 10 people to say yes to a valuation and 10 valuations to say yes to a listing. And one listing, you need 5 of those to make a sale. They know that they've got 300 phone calls to make when they make a sale. That's what makes them sick. That's what makes them not sleep at night. Not the sale is the worst thing that happens because it takes away your stock. And your stock's the only thing that can make you money. So please, if you want to see a top producer agent panic, look at Julie after she sold 3 places in one day. She'll be hysterical because she knows tomorrow I've got nothing to sell. And what am I going to do? I'm going to have a very, very difficult day trying to replace the stock. So keeping your pipeline full is your only goal. And one thing that's important, guys, just in the bottom right-hand corner there, with social media and WhatsApp and all of these things that we've been taught. I mean, Facebook has taught us that Facebook is the best thing that Facebook has ever met. And Facebook is awesome. Now, what? Who says that? Facebook. Facebook will tell you that Facebook's the best marketing tool that Facebook's ever seen. Well, but that's like me saying I'm the best guy in the world. You know, according to whom? Because it's not true. Facebook is not the best marketing tool in the world. It's the rubbishest marketing tool in the world. It's great for seeing whether your sister's boat sank in the Vaal River. And that's lekker to watch because they deserve it, because they stole my bra. But if you want to actually get to people and to get listings and market, Facebook's not your answer. Social media isn't the way to go. We are not influencers. We're not PewDiePie, who's got 3.5, I think he's got 30 million viewers. That's not us. We've got like 20 people looking at us on Facebook, and that's our cousin and our mommy. That doesn't count. So why is Facebook and social media bad and newsletters and flyers rubbish? Because the amount of people you have to get a flyer to make one phone call back is like 100 to 1. You'll be lucky. It's probably 1,000 to 1. You put out 1,000 flyers, you'll be lucky to get a phone call. You put a post out on Facebook, you will be lucky to get you'll be lucky to get a phone call back. But if you pick up the phone and phone you, you will get the answer every single time. 100% success rate, not the outcome, the contact. And that's what you want. Okay, so if I want to speak to Tremaine, I can put out a flyer. Tremaine, call me. No? Okay, I'll put a Facebook post up. Hey, Tremaine, give me a call. Come on, swing left or right, whichever way the right way is. Come on, Tremaine, phone me. No? Or I can pick up the phone. Hello, Tremaine. Done. Contact is made. Okay, so the telephone there, they talk about an 80% efficacy of contact with the telephone. So pick up your phone. These successful people, if you look at them, they've got a cauliflower ear. It looks like they're a provincial rugby player. They've got a fat ear on one side, and that's why Julie wears her hair over this side, because she's got a fat ear from ramming this hot phone against it all day long. That's all they do. They phone, speak to people. Can I sell your house? Why can't I sell it? Stop being like that. Let me sell it. I've listed it anyway. I'm sorry I listed it. I'll take it off. I won't take it off. I'm going to sell it. Okay. So that's important. And the last thing, of course, remember that the phone, the old phones in the old days, what this is all measured against was, hello, this is property.coza. Thank you for your call. Oh, I'd like to speak to Alan Bell. Oh, thank you, sir. I'll get Alan Bell to call you right back. He's not in office right now. He's not at his desk. That's gone. You want to speak to Alan Bell, you phone Alan Bell on his cell phone. He carries his switchboard around with him. It's all there. You want contact with somebody, you phone them. Okay. Every seller of every property has got a cell phone and will take a call about his property. Why? Because he wants to sell it. Everybody wants to talk about the assets, the investments. So if you've got the right wording and the right way of speaking to people, they will take your call. There is not a person in the world. If somebody phoned me and said, Mr. Van der Venter, I hear you've got a flat. Yes, I do. Are you a seller? No, I'm not. It's a pity because I've got R1 million. Oh, well, hang on, I didn't mean I'm not a seller. I mean, let's not rush. Don't put words in my. What do you mean you got R1 million? Because now I'm interested. Everybody's interested about property. It's an investment, and people are interested in the investments. If you phone people to buy their dogs, you got a different problem. People don't sell their dogs. People sell their property all the time. And if you guys need to get your heads around this, this is what you do for a living. Stop being shy. You're not a wilting wallflower. You pick up the thing. Hey, Gary, I want to sell your house. Can I sell your house, Gary? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down. No? Maybe? Come on, Gary. Let me sell your house. Yes. Ah, thank you, Gary. How much do you want for it? 20 million rand. You're crazy. That's why you're on the front page. Okay. So I admit somebody. Okay. So this is very simple. Don't ask permission. Get stuff done. Focus on an area. When an agent says focus on the area, it's not necessarily that you have to say, I'm going to work in Bordeaux. That's not the only area. What they could say is, I'm going to focus on rentals, or I'm going to focus on deceased estates, or I'm going to find my niche in property. Okay. And my niche personally in property was investors who owned small flats, and then I could sell their flats. That's an area. That's an area of expertise. That's honing in on something. So just like listing everything is not a bad idea. It's just going to make it a bit more difficult for you. Okay. This is very fast, guys, because our top 10 agents haven't got time to sit and listen to me drivel on. They want to get stuff done today. So I think that the most important thing to know about your focusing and getting stock is that it is an actionable thing. You have to actually do it. This is not a government caucus or a parliamentary thing. This is actual life and death. Do it. And if you don't do it, then you are completely ineffective. Right. Train Training and learning came up with nearly every one of our top guys. And if I look at because I keep a tracker here, it's like I'm watching you, hey? Like I write your names down. I say, like, hey, Kendi's here, Privin's here, Gary, Jessica's here, David, Glenda, Bruce, Cheryl. And I write them down and I look. The top producing guys are always in training. It amazes me. What could I possibly teach a top producing agent? They're older, more gray, they've done more sales, they're better than me. Why would they listen? Because by some fluke, I might say something that can help them. Or I'll say something that doesn't help them, and I'll say, I wonder why I said that, and it'll trigger something. It's always good to learn. So this is one thing. Knowledge is power, and all of them talk about training, and all of them talk about learning, and to do it early and to do it fast. So what you don't want to do as an agent is not get involved up front, because you can shorten your, let's call it your pain threshold, quite substantially by being trained fast. You can stumble around in real estate for a year or two with completely ineffectively, whereas you could just take advice, take training, do the work, and you could shorten that down considerably to start making money properly. Okay. And what is interesting for me is that if you look at those two columns, there's a very big difference between what used to be real estate and selling compared to the modern selling thing. In the old days, we had a standard product. The salesperson knew everything. The sales cycles were quite long. The property owners didn't know anything. They didn't know what had sold. They didn't know pricing. They didn't have the data of the modern way. It was all about price. Like, how much will you charge me commission? You know, it was all very old school. Obviously, we know that. On the other side today, though, it's customizable, it's flexible, you're a business partner, your speed is taken for granted. People will not listen to you if you're going to come back to them next week. You'll list my house, sure. It better be on the web in 20 minutes because they want to see it on the web. Because why? Another agent's going to call them and they better be able to say, no, it's already listed. If you say to a guy, come and list your house and you do it in a week's time, by the time you list it, you'll be on page 4 because 4 other agents will have already listed it. It's very quick. Okay. And one of the things that struck me is that the difference between an old salesperson is an old salesman used to work for the Pam Goldings, and he used to work for Pam herself. She was such a lovely woman, and Pam wouldn't allow him to do anything without Pam's permission. And the guy would take a thing and come back with his towel and say, Pam, this is a mandate, and she would look at it and they'd load it off for a week. Nowadays, you guys are the business owner. Okay, the relationship's changed. In the 80-20 model, the model that we've created out of this property.coza is you are a business owner. You have to get this into your heads. You do not work for me. You are not an employee. I have no relationship with you other than you are a contractor and I am a service provider, and together we have shaken hands and agreed to do something together. I will do certain things for you, you will do certain things, and together we will be paid commensurately with our effort. Now, that's very important because it makes you the business owner. It allows you to go out there and to cut deals, to negotiate up front, not to come back and say, Anton, do you think I can take a commission of 4%? Why would you say that? That's completely within your ambit. You negotiate that immediately. Why? Because it's your business. This is not, you don't work for an agency. You are a business owner. You are running an empire. These guys that you look at, those guys with their smiles on their front page, 3 slides back, you go and talk to them. They don't work for me, man. I work for them. It's their business and I'm a contractor. It's like I'm just like the plumber that comes to their house. Now, he's the guy that provides my IT and some training on property. What's your business? I don't work for Property Coza. I am Property Coza. I am the agent. It's my business. I fund it. I make the money. These guys work for me. And that's the right attitude in my estimation, because you have to own your own business. And ownership means you have to have the money to run it. You've got to have the wherewithal to run it. You can't have no infrastructure, no laptops, no phones, no nothing, because it's not about fairness or unfairness. It's just because you then can't do the work. You know, so if I'm a plumber and I get a phone call, I'm a plumber, can you come to my house? Absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely I can come. When? Well, not today because I don't have a car. Tomorrow. No, well, I'm getting my tools on Wednesday. So how deep's the water in your lounge? Well, it's not water, it's shoes, it's up to my knees. Well, by Wednesday, it'll be up to your hips, so you'll still be okay, but I'll be there, don't worry. You know, it's like stupid. In that context, you think, but that's laughable. Why would, you know, Anton, that's a stupid example. You know, let's talk business here. Well, let's actually talk business, because there are amongst us people that don't have these fundamental tools. And it is as ludicrous as that. I can't take a photograph. Why on earth would you be an agent and go to somebody's house for valuation without a camera? Now, it's not good enough to say, I don't have a camera. I don't have money for a camera. You know, it's just like, oh, my phone's broken. Bro, your job is to get a listing and to put it on the interwebs. The interwebs works on photographs. I don't know if you've noticed. It's a visual media. You better have a good camera. Now, if you don't get one, you better come and ask for one. Borrow one. I'm going to say steal one, but no. Borrow one. But find a camera so that you can do your job. It's absolutely futile. Doing all the work, getting the listing, going there, taking photographs and putting rubbish up on the interwebs. Why? Because the people there will spend less than a second on a page. You've got like less than a second to impress me about your house. And if you've got a bad photograph, I hate to break it to you, but you're not going to sell it. I promise you. So don't take photographs with the camera this way. Take it sideways, because that's what Property 24 has instructed you. Make sure that you've got a proper resolution, over 256 on, you know, megs of photograph, so that it can register on the screen. I mean, these small ones, one of them is 26 KB. 26 KB is like 26 dots per inch. You could draw that photograph with a pen by making little dots on it. Guys, fight fair, eh? You got to look after yourselves. Okay, so this professionalism, the modern selling thing, has swung everything around. You are no longer an employee with a suit waiting for instructions from your boss. Here's your list. You're not an order taker. You are a business owner. You need funding for your business. You need a business plan. You need capital behind you. You need infrastructure, because you're going to run a successful business. If you don't want to earn R1 million a year, that's a different discussion, and that's fine. But what you can't do is be in between. You still can't earn anything if you don't have the right tools. You can't plumb without the plumbing stuff, guys. You really just can't. Because the only way to clean the toilet then is to use your hand. That's unpleasant. Get the tools, make it work properly, and get it done. Okay. So the most salient thing about modern selling thing, I think, is putting the power into the hands of the salesperson. And in many sales cycle, in many sales environments, even in any industry, the sales guys are more and more professional, with more and more ability to make decisions. They now, you talk to a salesperson, they can almost on the fly decide what you can and can't have. And they're prepared to do it and negotiate to get it done now, because they know one truism of sales. And this is the gospel according to Anton. If you do not sign or close the deal, then it's gone. There is no comeback. You cannot say to a person, I don't know if I can take 4%, but I'll come back to you and I'm going to speak to my boss, and then come speak to Anton and then decide about it and phone the guy on Tuesday. It's way too late. You've got to make the call up front and take the knock. You know, so we corrected 5.5, so it costs you 1,000 Rand. What are you talking about? That's not a cost to you. So you earn 50 instead of 60, whatever, 50 instead of 51. 50 is the number. That's what you're getting. The margins around it are irrelevant. That's what happens in real life. Guys, you cut deals all the time. You negotiate your way through life all the time. We do it at coffee shops. We do it with our partners. Why are you so sort of intransient with your own business? You must be willing to cut, willing to take chances, willing to get out there, but it's all about action. You've got to do it. Please don't defer to me. I'll ask you can do it as a strategic tool. Oh, I don't know if my boss will take that. That's fine. I understand that's negotiating, but don't wait for permission. Get things done, make mistakes. Come back to me and say, Anton, I've listed a 55 million Rand penthouse for a commission of 12 Rand 50 and a samosa, and I'm very happy with my deal. And I'll go, what on earth are you talking about? Why would you do that? And I don't know, I made a mistake. Well, it's fine. Do it. At least you've got a samosa and you've learned something. And I'm still going to correct it 5.5%, so you owe me a packet of samosas. Okay, so please, guys, it's all about action. It's all about understanding it's your business. And those top performers, when you read through their things, look very carefully about what they're trying to tell you. Because it's all about them running a business, with partners and doing stuff, because there's nobody else doing it. If you think that Linda and I sit here trying to sort out your business, trying to sort out your photographs, you're woefully dreaming. I mean, basically, I've sat on my feet on my desk and drink coffee all day, and that's the right and proper way for Anton to behave. If you want help, you can ask for it and we'll give it to you lovingly. But the onus is on you to make and take action. Okay, and I think that's the message that's come through this thing. This is what I see. The last thing, because time is running out apparently. Sorry. Plan, have work. You need to understand what you're doing. You need to understand the industry, and you need to do certain things. And again, this message from the greats, the GOATs, we call them, greatest of all time, is that you have to take action and you have to be involved. Now, those guys have done their NQFs and their PDEs, CPDs and all of that. Why? Because they understand it's something that's fundamental to earning a living. Get it behind you. You can't be a plumber without a plumbing certificate. So why argue about it? Why make it a big deal? It's like saying, I'm going to become an Uber driver, but I'm not getting a license. Well, then you can't be insured, and every roadblock you go through, you're going to panic and you're going to get fined like 30 times a month. What are you talking about? You won't be able to get car finance. I mean, so that's not on the table. You say, okay, I'll get my license. So get your license. Easy. Don't fight about it. Just do it. And there's a bursary, TikTok, guys, that if people that want the bursary, you've got until end of business today or Monday morning to tell Cheryl, send her a thing, I want a bursary, and they will do it for RPL4. That means that you have to have been in the industry for more than a year to qualify to get you up to speed. Your only job in my estimation is to get listings. And you'll see there that you must have 20 listings. This listing thing, this is important. This all implies that you are going to do something. Please, guys, it's not good enough to join the industry and then to sit there and wonder about, and I'm going to learn first and then do. That's good for heart surgeons and for aeroplane pilots. I would like them to learn first, then do, and maybe for, well, I don't know, that's probably the only two options that make a difference. Anybody else, learn on the fly. There's no mistakes that you can make in real estate that are that catastrophic. And I can say this with confidence. I can tell you why. Because you're part of a brand. Okay, so there's no set of circumstances that you can get yourself or your clients into such trouble that it's irrecoverable, because you're going to use our mandate form. You're going to use our offer to purchase or our lease agreement. And unless you deliberately change something in there or say something completely irrelevant or stupid, there's nothing that actually can go wrong. Because the back end, what we provide you is with a stable, structured, statutory cluster that will look after you. So don't be afraid. Sign deals. Let Sean phone you from NGL and going, what on earth have you written here? Are you mad? Because it's irrelevant. Either the deal will work. The worst case, we can go back to the buyer and say, listen, my agent went crazy. We can't do it like this. Do you want to cancel or do you want to carry on? And if they want to carry on, they'll fix it. So these aren't life and death documents, guys. Okay. That's not, now listen carefully though. This is not carte blanche to go crazy on me and to go do whatever you schmuck in the industry. Remember, we are professionals. You've got a code of conduct. You've got the prescripts that are written. You have to apply them. So if you work within the parameters of what we do, you are absolutely safe. And as a new agent, sign your deal on your first day, fill it in any way you like, bring it to us, let's try it. Because that's a lot better than not doing it for a year while you try and learn all this stuff. There is nothing to learn, absolutely nothing to learn. Filling in the price, the deposit, and the difference is not hard. That's not learning, that's easy peasy. Okay. It's so easy, this, guys. So do this now. This is what I think these guys are saying to us. So if you go and look at the GOATs on the front page, greatest of all time, they are telling you to pick up the phone, call a client, knock on a door, talk to a contact, hand in some out flyers, speak to old colleagues, check for sale by owners. They are telling you to do something. Not one of them says a good agent sits and waits patiently for the money to arrive in his bank account. I didn't see that coming from any of them. Not one of them mentioned sitting around. Not one of them mentioned waiting or thinking or anything. It's all learn, do, take action, get out there, focus on an area, understand yourself, understand your business. Okay, all action, 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 action. So here's something for you. If you send me a link today before 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock of your listing that you're going to get now, because you're going to put down this phone and you're going to pick up your phone and you're going to get a listing
Last night?
list it. And then I'm going to send you, I'm going to give you a present. I won't tell you what the present is because it depends how many of you get it right. So it's going to start off with a big present and it might be a little present for you. Okay.
Last night?
So the point is, guys, take action. I'd love to see who can list something new today. I know Julie is going to list something new today because she sold all her stock and she's frantic. And it's hard work to do it. So if you want to find out how Julie does it, phone her because she's going to be doing it today. All right. Right, everybody, thank you very much. Do it. Get out there, make a call right now. Pick up your phone, phone somebody, anybody, even if it's your mother. Ask her if she wants to sell her house and then phone somebody else and keep doing it until you can win the prize. Have a nice day. Go and sell some houses.